everybody, it's Sara Evans. Welcome back to another episode of Diving In Deep. I'm so excited for you guys to hear this next conversation with Madeline Merlo. She is from Canada and she's an amazing country music artist on the rise. It was so great getting to know her more and learn about her story. So make sure to download the episode, give it a review, comment, share it. And if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Do all the great stuff that helps this podcast really, really succeed. And I love you so much for that. Madeline, thank you so much for being here today. We do this all the time. We just dive right into it. No introduction. I'll do an introduction for you later, but thank you so much for being with us.
Oh my gosh.
You have a really interesting story. And first of all, I want to talk about the fact that you're married to a lawyer.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
We'll be married 2 years in April, so like almost 2.
Okay. And what kind of law does he practice, or does he want to keep that secret?
No, I mean, he does like litigation, business on business. He does like a bunch of different stuff. He does some criminal defense as well too, so.
Right. The only reason I asked is because you don't meet a lot of artists that are married to someone like a lawyer or a doctor. Like usually they're in the entertainment industry or they're like kind of a part of what we do, but it's so different. So how does that work for y'all?
Yeah, I mean, we met right before COVID, literally like 2 weeks before. And it was really an interesting time to get to know somebody because he wasn't, lawyers work a lot. Like his schedule is grueling. He's like, it's grind time. That's like, they work really hard. And so do artists, and we're traveling a bunch too. So our schedules are kind of crazy, but they work in this way. But when we met, he wasn't working as much. All the courts are closed. And then I was home. And so we got to kind of fall in love in this really, like land that almost like didn't exist. It wasn't real life. And so it was so special. Just really, we got deep really quick and really got to know each other so well. And, I think both of us were pretty determined to make it work no matter what, but it ended up being like, we're very, very similar in a lot of ways. And being a lawyer too, I mean, they're telling a story, especially if they're in front of a jury and they're trying to get their point across. They're really creative. They're really quick on their feet. They're really clever. And so business minded, which I'm not really. And so he's been such an asset to my career and obviously
he can do your contracts.
Yeah, it's great. That
is awesome.
I know. I always say when people are like, do you have any advice for like a baby artist? I'm like, get a good lawyer. Or marry one.
Marry a lawyer. It's so interesting to me to hear how people handled COVID.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, it was the worst time of my life. I was going to kill myself. I just, was so bored. I was so fat. I was so lazy. And then other people are like, I fell in love.
Yeah.
And it was the best time for my family. So you're so lucky that you fell in love during that time.
It was super, super like a light in the midst of a dark thing. And I'm from Canada originally, from the West Coast, like right above Seattle, and that's really far. And they had all these restrictions with crossing the border. And so you're so far from your family. You're worried about my grandma. Like it was such a weird, crazy time. And then I had like him and his family and his world really just like hold me close.
Yes. Were you already here?
Yes.
When you met him. So he's from America.
Yeah. He grew up in Murfreesboro. So just just right down the road.
Okay. So you at least does he have family here?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. His whole family's here.
You at least have that. Yeah. Because I understand like I had to leave Missouri at 19 to move to Nashville, and people don't understand that almost every artist and musician and songwriter and whatever in the industry, or if you're in acting world, you have to leave your family to go pursue. That's hard.
Really hard. Yeah, it's the hardest thing for sure.
Yeah.
And you like sometimes I just dream and wonder. My sister and I are really close, and she has a 2-year-old, and I just like can't think too long about what my life would look like, if I could be near them and see them more. And it bums me out, but I felt like, you come to Nashville and you follow your heart and you follow your dreams and all of the things. And I truly love my life here. Like I can't imagine it going any other way, but it's a major sacrifice being so far from home.
Yeah, it really, really is. And then once you have kids, you know,
but
you're going to become so rich and famous that you'll be able to have a private jet.
Yeah, exactly.
Hop on it, go visit anytime you want.
Or they have like teleportation down by then. I just zap, I'm over there.
You know how like you play those games and like what superpower would you have? That has always been my answer.
Mine too.
Teleportation.
Yes,
really?
Yes, 100%.
Well, because if you do what we do, you understand why.
You just be there?
You just be there.
Yeah, you just up here.
How amazing would that be?
It would be amazing. And you could see so many parts of the world. Like you just like zap over to Bali, Indonesia. Like that would be cool.
And I raised 3 kids who, well, they're all in music now, but like growing up, they played sports and
Yeah.
So I killed myself to get home.
Yeah.
Always. And I was always like, if I had the superpower of teleportation. Is that what it's called?
Teleportation. Yeah.
So tell me about all of this. How did this whole thing start with you?
Yeah, like just music and here and everything.
How did you know you were a singer?
Yeah, man, I've known for so long. Like sometimes there's like interviews and people are like, I just realized I could sing a year ago. And I'm like, what? Like I was so young. I was, 6 years old, my first performance at my kindergarten talent show. And I think my mom noticed I could like hold a tune like a little better. And I have kind of a musical family. And, we're like the people that harmonize at Christmas songs at Christmas time. Like there's a lot of, love, loud music playing in the house. It was
so it's in the blood.
In the blood, in the family, and just started singing in talent shows and competitions and fairs and auditioned for musical theater and just was totally hooked. It was like, I just loved it so much. I loved being on stage, and then started kind of figuring I could write songs at like 8, like just so young and just very sure that, it was. So I feel like God just put it on my heart at a really young age and have just tried to follow it everywhere it took. And growing up in Canada, it has its Canadian country music scene up there. We've got our own award show and country radio up there. And so I signed at like barely 18 and was on the road up there and heard my song on the radio and did the whole thing. And, but I had always heard about this mythical place called Nashville where people write songs for a living. And that's where Shania moved when, she kind of took it to the next level. And so Nashville was always like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to afford to get there? I need to get a visa. I'm not from this country. Like there's all the hoops you have to jump through. But I was just very determined. And then made the move down.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And Terry Clark was just on the podcast talking about that.
She's such a legend.
Yeah,
Truly.
she is. Yeah. But that would be really hard. And you are from the farthest
super
away Canada.
Truly. When I left, everyone was like, dang, go farther. I'm like,
I know.
Yeah. Crazy.
It would be nice if Nashville was kind of more in the middle of America.
Yeah.
It would be a little bit easier
certainly
for people.
Yeah.
But and then you have Hollywood and New York, which are the furthest apart. It's not easy. Nothing's easy for entertainers.
It's not. Yeah, I think we travel for a living. I always say that's really like what it is. It's
the 90 minutes on stage is the glory.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
That's the gift at the end of it. But all the other stuff can feel like tiring and stuff for sure.
It's exhausting. Yeah. And you can reach burnout, quickly. But so you got a record deal at almost 18. That's very young.
Yeah. I want to know. It's like the wildest story is that, so I started, writing songs and I was working with this producer at the time named Dan Swinimer and he saw, like 16 something and me, we started writing songs together and we put some stuff on YouTube and I was literally in high school and a kid in my like homeroom came up to me, not friends with this person, but every day I'd be like, hey, it's Tay, like, what's up? And he said, I sent your song to the country station in town. And I said, well, that's so nice. Like I had just posted on Facebook or whatever it was. And like a couple of days later, we get a call from the program director and he's like, I checked the station inbox, which I never do. It had no subject line. It had no message. It was just a link and it was your video and it felt like a God thing. And I clicked it and it was you. And like, I want you to come into the station. And I'm like, okay. And so I go in and play my songs, and he was like, ended up being this really powerful program director, called like all the labels in Canada. Everyone was like, someone has to sign this girl, someone has to see this girl. And within like 2 years, I had, a song on the radio and full career from this.
Amazing. So in Canada, is it a little bit different? Because that's unheard of for a radio person to help you get your deal.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was just the most bizarre thing. And like, why would he check, the inbox?
Right.
And I don't know. So I really feel like it was just, it was a God stroke of just insane kind of luck and blessing to kind of kick me off up there. And
yes.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Well, you have an amazing voice.
Thank you so much.
You really do.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a great voice. And I always feel like if that's there, then, that's sort of the biggest obstacle. Like, there's a lot of people who try to do it, but I don't know. You really have to be special. And you have a special voice.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
You really do.
I appreciate it.
So what then? Like, so you got a record deal in Canada.
So just started doing, the thing and building it, putting out like my EP up there and songs. And, I've just been doing it for a long time, and it's a great like learning space too, because it's on a bit of a smaller market and smaller stage. And then, I started to go to Nashville and write songs, like, right at the beginning, and just totally fell in love and was very determined to somehow make it to Nashville and move there and get here. And people, I would, try to take meetings and stuff down here, and people would say like, we think you're great, but like, you don't live here. And so it was very obvious that was something I needed to do.
Mm-hmm. And so when did you do that?
So I moved at the end. I was trying to remember.
And did you have a hit record in Canada?
I would say like nothing, that exploded to, the craziest degree, but, top 5 and top 10 and nominated for Female of the Year. Like I definitely felt like I was one of the artists up, and still am. I still tour a ton in Canada and I'm very like active in that scene. And so I was really lucky to feel the support.
So Canada loves you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I love them for sure. Yeah. But it was a scary thing to move down here and take maybe a break. It felt like a bit from up there and try to pour into living down here, and really wanted to get a publishing deal.
Was there any kind of connection like with your record deal in Canada? Were they able to do anything to help you here?
Yeah, like they would set me up on some rights, and they had somebody that was down here, and a lot of Canadians do come down and do a lot of their writing and stuff down here. So I had been down and met a few songwriters and knew a few people and stuff. So they had certainly like helped, get your foot in the door. But I mean, you move here and it's like everyone, comes and everybody is so good. And the songwriter, it was like, I felt like I was in Disneyland. I couldn't believe how talented everybody was. I was like, whoa. And I felt like, you just showed up at this different level of something. And it was pretty crazy.
It's funny because I feel like you get to Nashville and you meet so many people that are incredibly talented, and they're not necessarily the ones that are famous always.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's kind of weird.
So many people, you're like, I just don't understand why they're not like the biggest star in the world. Like, what the heck? You're so good.
Yes.
I think too, like, obviously, I love making music and whatever, but I'm such a fan of like music and artists and like writers and stuff like that. And so, I mean, I just feel it's such a cool thing to live in a city where you're just constantly inspired and constantly seeing what the other people are doing. And you're like, dang, that's so cool. Or like, I wish I wrote that song. And
not to mention the musicians.
Oh my gosh. The first time you go and, hand the charts to the players and they play on your music, I'll never forget. They can't believe how they hear it one time and then just like turn it into magic.
It's like you're a freak.
So crazy.
You're just a freak.
Like what? Are you okay? Kind of.
Right.
Because how?
I always liken it to, like you see a movie that's like, I don't know, Fried Green Tomatoes or Steel Magnolias or, one of those classics that just will never be replaced, will never be able to be remade.
Yeah.
And there are still those movies today, but it's always the big, what do you call them when they're the franchise?
Yes. Okay.
Movies that make the biggest splash and make the most money. And that's kind of depressing to me because I'm always like, you know, I want the little indie
underdog
film,
niche thing to
yes, where the writing is superb.
Yes.
And all of that. So so you came here and then you ended up signing Jason Aldean's record label.
Yes. Yeah. So I was down here for, you know, a bit, ended up getting a publishing deal, which allowed me to stay, which was great because as a Canadian, you can't stay without a visa. Okay. So that was really amazing and got to start, you know, writing songs like every day. I just felt like, you know, really living the dream. And then in 2020, I got an email from a casting director that I had briefly kind of talked to about another show that they were making. And they were like, we're casting for a season 2 Songland, which is an NBC like songwriter competition show.
Yes.
Do you have anything? We remember you like did country from whatever years ago. I'm like, okay. I sent them one song and then like a couple hours later they were like, your flight's tomorrow. And I got cast on season 2 of Songland.
Amazing.
Yeah.
When was that?
This is 2020.
2020.
We filmed January 2020. So I think it came out like maybe April or May, that same.
Okay.
Now, did you have to later
film and do all that during COVID, or did COVID happen after that?
It was right before like
COVID,
we just had finished, and then everything kind of shut down.
Thank God.
So I go to Songland and you don't know like what, so you like live pitch a song and then have you seen the show?
No,
so,
tell me about it.
So you like play your song for them and it's Shane, Esther Dean, Ryan Tedder, and then an artist.
Okay.
And you play your little song and then they kind of like critique it / like rewrite it to fit the artist. And there's 4 of you.
Okay.
So did that. And Lady A was the artist of my episode.
Okay.
And so immediately they're like, what if you did this? What if you did that? And you could change it here. And you're just standing there like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. Like these people, and, you know, and Ryan Tedder and like, they're just such incredible writers. And so it was really cool.
Did you like their ideas?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, it was really cool. And then you got paired with a coach. And so I got paired with Shane McNally.
Is this show still on?
No, they only did 2 seasons.
Dang.
They haven't come back. I know. I hope they will because it was awesome.
And you play guitar. Okay.
Yeah, and so me and Shane, we go to like Ryan Tedder's compound in LA.
And you're talking about Shane McAnally.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
For the
who's like a prolific songwriter who, side plot, I had a keychain with his face on it for like a year before this whole ordeal happened because he was like my dream co-writer. And then suddenly, you know, I'm with him. Right. So we rewrite the song specifically for Lady A and it was such a cool day and he's so amazing. And then you replay it for them and they pick a winner and my song won. Okay. And so my song never really won anything. So that was really cool. Very off-brand for me, I always
amazing.
Say. It was so awesome. And then Lady A ended up taking that song.
Who votes? Sorry to keep interrupting.
No.
How'd your song win? Like, what's the process?
The thing is they keep you totally separate. So there's other like contestants, but you don't hear their song. You don't watch their performances. They like keep you in this like soundproof room. So I'm like, I felt good about our song and felt good about what we did, but I have no idea like who else. And then they just bring you all out and they're like, we are thinking like this song would suit us best for this time. So Lady A ultimately makes the decision.
Gotcha.
And so they picked my song. So cool. And so they're going to like record it and stuff. And they did. And it sounded so good. And then about like a month or so later, I get an email that's like Lady A and Shane want to Zoom you. And I'm like, okay. And so we jump on and they're like, we've decided to take our current single off radio that we have and we're going to put Champagne Night on. And it went to country radio.
Amazing.
And so that was really like the show plus that song going to country radio ended up going #1 and that kind of thing ended up with a lot of great things.
So you've written a #1 record for Lady
Allegedly, yeah.
For Lady A.
Yes, yeah.
And they recorded it and it went all the way to #1. Because I've been so out of the country just like paying attention to, you know, I'm like, not for any reason. It's just because I don't know. Do you listen to a lot of music when you're not?
I go through phases for sure where I'm like, I need just to listen to like a podcast
me
or
too.
like a different genre or something when I just get in my head
too.
too much about it. So I totally get that.
Me too. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I need to know that song.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my God.
We'll make sure you hear it. It's like and it's what's so cool is that it's like it bared so much fruit and kicked open the doors and got me a record deal and you know, just has done so much for me, and they're such great people, and they were so kind with all the ways they involved me in little things. And it's like a silly song about having, like, it's, you know, it's just a silly song about having a great night. It's called Champagne Night. And like I said, it's been so special and such a blessing.
That's amazing. Aren't they great?
They're really awesome people, truly.
I wrote a great song with Shane McAnally called You Never Know. Right, Craig Dunn? Yeah, it was with Shane McAnally. Who did Livy do her project with? Yes. I always get the McAnally and the Overstreet because they both come from musical families.
Right. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. What a great guy.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so you won that, and then what?
And then, I mean, I signed a record deal with BMG, which has Jason Aldean and Jelly Roll and Lainey and like some really cool people, and have just been, you know, making music and writing songs and playing shows and just kind of been working, doing the whole thing really since then. And yeah, I mean, it was such a life changer.
How did you get Keith Urban to play guitar on your record?
By asking.
Okay, I adore him.
I don't really know him enough to say that, but he seems amazing.
No,
I didn't. So my producer knows him, and I literally
Who's your
said,
producer?
Zach Crowell.
Okay.
So Zach had worked with Keith before, and I was like, this sounds like something like early, it had like a long hot summer vibe, the song. I'm like, do you think, if you just asked him, like, do you think Keith would play? And he was like, there's like a 19% chance he says yes. I'm like, I'll take 19%.
Yeah.
I'm just so big on like, what is he going to say no or just not respond? Like, whatever.
And why not?
Yeah, like, why not? And I don't know why, but he was like, this sounds killer. Like, I'd love to.
Yeah.
And so I was like, do I go by? Like, is it weird if I'm just like at the studio? Like, I don't know. I just felt like maybe it was just such a kind gesture that he was doing. So I wasn't in the room, but he played the Keithest Keith solo ever. Like, it's like, wah, wah. It's so cool. And I'm like, as long as I live, Keith Urban played on a song of mine.
That's freaking awesome.
Amazing.
I mean, I'm happily married. So no one take this wrong, but you know, there's something about a musician that's just sexy, and it's like they could be anything off stage, and in their real life, but on stage. But Keith Urban is both. I mean, he's an amazing singer, amazing writer, amazing guitarist. But I remember one year I was sitting in the front row at the ACM Awards, and they had like different stages. So like a middle stage, this stage, and then over here. And I was in the front row in this stage. And Keith Urban performed like Sweet Thing, you know, one of those songs. So it was one of those guitar solos where like literally he like makes love to his guitar.
Yeah. It's not even, I don't know. It just feels so natural. It's like another arm for him. Like, it's just
makes
like,
love to,
it's crazy how natural and just, it's so prolific.
I have never wanted to be a guitar so bad as when I watched that solo. I just came because he's so passionate about it and so into it. Totally. And also love his vibrato. Yeah. You have fast vibrato too.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I think you do. On the stuff that I listen to.
Yeah.
And you have quick licks.
Thank you.
Which is
I always say, I'm like, I love me an ad lib track. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I definitely grew up listening to primarily country, but also a lot of like Stevie Wonder, Etta James, and Destiny's. Like my sister loved Destiny's Child, and I would listen to, and then Rascal Flatts was like, hold on a second.
Fast Cars and Freedom. For like a year, I think during COVID, we got stuck on Fast Cars and Freedom.
It's insane. I know, like, honestly, almost every word to like every Rascal Flatts song ever.
They're
like,
amazing.
I was so obsessed, and I would copy Gary's runs and do them over and over and over and over again.
So you know that song Easy that he did with, okay, so I toured with Rascal Flatts for like 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I think this was when Stronger was big. It was during that time. And he wanted me to do Easy with him because it was Natasha Bedingfield, I think, that did it, which I was so much better. And no, I'm kidding. And so, but they were waiting till the end of their show. So they all wore black and white every night. Rascal Flatts did, okay? And so I would do my show before then. And you know, after your show, like I do my meet and greet after the shows. I don't know about you. You probably do it before because most people do them before. Do you do them before?
I've done both. I kind of like after.
I like after.
Like
because there's no pressure.
Totally. And then it's also like, I feel there's some, like, they're like, I like the like you can talk about, I kind of like to be like, what song was your favorite? Like, I feel
and
like
they love you after the show.
Yeah.
They're going crazy.
Totally. I feel like it's cool to be like, how was it?
Right.
I don't know. It's like talk to somebody out there and you can see, like you said, you're like their level of enthusiasm.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay, good. I feel like
you
they
can see, and then some people are crying because like you changed their life. And so, but also I just don't like to do anything before the show.
I hear you. I'm kind of like, I need to be very zened out and very intentional. I'm not like the people that have like tons of people in the green room and they're all like, and they just casually walk on stage. There's nothing casual
I also don't drink
about
before the shows.
Yeah, no, me neither.
No, good, because I can't do my licks.
Yeah,
if I'm drinking.
Yeah,
I feel like I just had this conversation with somebody, but I can't. I just can't. Like I have to wait until afterwards. But where was I going with all of this?
You were on tour. Rascal Flatts, yeah.
Okay, Rascal Flatts. So,
so they're
I had to come off the show, come off my show.
Yes.
Then wait until their entire show, till the end of their show. Oh, and like as much as I loved doing that song with them every night, I mean, I was exhausted and the kids were little.
Yeah.
So the kids were on the bus and I was making them dinner and doing all that. And then we would have to restart hair and makeup and I would have to wear a black and white outfit.
Okay.
You know, every night. You can YouTube some of them. But God, singing that song with him. And he would do so every night it would be different with his voice.
Totally. I love that about him
all
too.
All those runs.
Yeah, he's so gifted.
Every now and then, like Gary and I are friends. Every now and then you're worried that he's not going to land. You know what I mean? It's like doing a triple Lux.
Yeah,
and
totally.
he goes like easy, and it does all that stuff, and then you're like, oh, and then but he always lands.
Yeah.
He always lands it perfectly.
Yeah, he's
but
so
yes, they're amazing. We have the same taste then.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
Country, because I'm just really big on the, I don't know, like progressive country, because I think that's what I'm kind of both. I'm kind of like super duper ultra stone cold country, but most of my singles have been progressive, more progressive country, like Rascal Flatts, Keith Urban. So anyway, I don't even know how we got started talking about Rascal Flatts.
I'll bring them up anytime I can.
Yeah. How did that happen? I think you were just saying you like them.
Yeah. And
then what's the deal with Dustin Lynch? What's your connection?
So Dustin and I are on the same management company.
Okay.
So there's definitely that. And we have the same producer.
Okay.
So Zach, again.
Zach Carl's great.
He's awesome. He's so great.
He is awesome.
He had me start doing background vocals on some of the projects he was working on.
Okay.
One of them, I did this Cole Swindell song that was like this really cool Jody Messina. It's called Heads Carolina.
Oh, duh. Yeah,
so
that was. I forgot about that.
And it happened super organic because Zach was like, I really want to put like Jody's original thing in the song, but it's in a different key, so it kind of sounds like chipmunky. Can you just come and sing it proof of concept just to see what it sounds like? So I was like, I know this song, and so I went and sang it. And it's so high too. It's like in, a totally different key. And it's like all faded and back there. But then he started just calling me for like other random things. And one of them was Dustin's album. So I sang a few on Dustin's album. Him and Jelly Roll had a song called Chevrolet that I got to sing on as well. And so just kind of got to know Dustin, and he's such a good guy. Like he's really, really salt of the earth person.
He really is.
And just is so lovely and loves music, like just positive, and I love his voice. He's got such a great like texture and emotion.
Right. Great tone.
Totally. Yeah. I love his tone so much. And this song, Broken Heart Thing, is about like the whole thing is like, I'm still getting used to this broken heart thing. I'm sorry if I call you. I'm just like, this is this whole new adjustment thing. And
Gotcha.
It was like, whether you're the one who broke up with them or you're the one with the broken heart,
right.
You're both going, like, even when you're the one that does it, you're still kind of like, oh shoot,
yes.
I would usually call them, and like now I'm not supposed to. Like, it's still a
Did
weird.
you co-write it with him?
So no, he
Okay.
I actually got the song sent to me, and immediately like really liked it, and we made a couple changes and put a bridge in and stuff to make it more me, but it wasn't a duet to begin with.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I literally just texted the song to Dustin and was like, hey, it's me. Would you be like down to sing this? And really didn't know what he would say. And then he said yes. And I think it just added so much to it. And I think,
right.
Our voices complement each other in a great way. And it's been so fun to play it with him live. And just grateful for his
Are you on
support.
tour now?
No, I mean, we do kind of like little weekends here and there. Like last year, especially, it'd be like, 3 shows with this artist.
I mean, I can't believe I just asked you that question, because I hate when people ask me that question. Because
everyone thinks you're always on tour, though, right?
We don't tour the same as what the common person thinks. They think that, like, are you on tour? Meaning, are you on tour like Ariana Grande is on tour?
Yeah, like,
or Taylor Swift. Like, it's where they, put together a world tour and do that. Country artists are almost always on tour.
yeah.
We're always doing
Little one-off shows, and there's the fair
Yes.
and the things.
And
And
even if
stuff
we
like
are
that.
on a major tour, we're still doing
the other things,
the
as well,
other things
too.
the
Yeah.
one-offs,
Yeah.
So what I meant to say was, what are you doing right now?
Yeah. Honestly, not playing right at the beginning of the year. There's not like a ton. It kind of picks up April and
Yep.
stuff like that. So I put out an EP in October. And so now just kind of starting to write again and being like, okay, like what else, do I want to say? What do I want to talk about? And
Right.
so it's been nice to, I feel like at the beginning of the year too, you got, after some time off, like more ideas and feel
Yes.
like a little more inspired and recharged and stuff. So,
Yeah, I'm about to start writing a new record, and I feel that way.
like
Okay.
ready to do it.
I like music again, because we went
fickle
all the way to
thing.
December 22nd.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it was just like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And I hate music. But again, the 90 minutes on stage, that's just
For sure.
amazing.
Sure. Yeah, I know. There's something about it. Like my good girlfriend, she has a little boy, and he's like obsessed with the drums and obsessed with the songs. And I'm like, and she's music, and I'm like, he's got it. Like it's like this thing that just I can't even explain it. It's like you just can't imagine doing it. Like I don't know what else I would do. I'm not good really at anything else. Like it's just who I have been for so long. And
I'm a good tennis player, but I would not have made it pro.
yeah.
So I'm glad I
Yeah,
sang.
yeah. Tennis is great. We're actually, I guess you don't play pickleball if you play, you're like
Yeah,
a true,
I played pickleball
play
too.
both? Okay. I've never
honestly,
tried it, but I
I'm a
kind of
really great
want to.
athlete.
I play tennis, like not really, but like me and my mom would like play as a kid, and it's so
Yeah,
fun. It's really
so
hard
fun.
though. Like the cardio is
It's so hard.
no joke.
It's so good
Such
for
a good
you.
workout. Yeah.
But now they're saying pickleball is even like more better.
More better.
Yeah.
I've never played, but it looks really fun though.
We set it up on the road, like we tape it off.
Okay.
And we've been playing on the road. It's so fun. But yeah, I think I always am amazed to find out, like, how did you know? Like how did I know? How did he know? But I did see this Instagram the other day of this little boy, and he's outside with a little guitar, and he's singing the song from the George Strait movie. Have you seen this? Mm-mm. He's singing, sing a song about the heartland, the only way I feel at home or place. And I'm like, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
he knows. And
Yeah.
he's 3 years old. Mm-hmm. And he's staying in the same key for the whole song.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's got it.
Totally. He's got it. I remember hearing Broken Wing, Martina McBride, and I'm like 8 years old and feeling so moved by this song about, domestic violence. And have no, not relating to that at 8 years old, but the way that she performed it. And I literally remember the video, and I remember the tension and you feel it. And I remember being so impacted by the song. And I think that's what it is. It's like the songs are important, and songs help people and, make you feel I don't know. Their life would be so boring without them. So.
It's a God-given, I don't know, something inside you that makes you appreciate music. Like, for instance, actors are the same way. Actors are born with that gift.
For sure.
Just like they say, if you can speak a lot of different languages, it's a gift. Like, it's not really something you can learn. You're gifted with it or not.
Right. Yeah.
And speaking other languages and also doing the accent. So that is another gift, like acting, like athletics, like singing.
For sure.
Which singers are really athletes.
Yeah, it's a muscle, right?
Because it is a muscle and all that. Okay, so what is your EP like?
The EP is called One House Down from the Girl Next Door. And it's kind of a bit of a concept album in the sense that it starts off, the first song's Broken Heart Thing, kind of takes you through the emotions of this pretty tumultuous love and fall apart, and you kind of end up where you're supposed to be at the end of it, and healing and understanding and perspective, and kind of about this very specific snapshot of my life,
right?
Which has been cool to be. I was thinking about it when I think about that time period, I almost feel like I'm a big sister to myself, going through that. First of all, I'm you so dumb. What? You know what I mean? I have so much
Is this prior to Lawyer Husband?
Yes, yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And I'm just I just feel so hard for her, and she just tried. So I don't know. So I really just feel like it was a cool writing from a healed version of it, and just having a new perspective on it. And every single song you see the hope. It's I know this isn't right. I know this isn't right. It's so hard, and I want to go back, but I know this isn't right.
Right.
She knew the whole time, and you can feel that in every single one of the songs. And then the end. It's kind of Lawyer Husband steps in, and you're oh, all of this stuff was kind of worth it to get you.
To get to you.
And he loves you for who you are, despite all of this hard stuff that you've gone through.
Right.
He thinks that's a really cool thing about you. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So even just One House Down from the Girl Next Door, that even that concept, that idea, I've always felt a little I'm not that perfect thing with the perfect house, and was very envious of those families that looked a certain way and mine didn't. And always just felt a little on the outside. And
that's a freaking awesome title.
Thank you.
One House Down from the Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it's just looking through the window at her and being dang. I know. I feel I could have written that song 50 different times. It was so inspiring to me. And I feel I've written about that kind of feeling a lot, I would say, if you into my catalog, for sure.
You must have had a difficult relationship before Lawyer Husband.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly just life and stuff too, just growing up. And it was really just my mom, me, and my sister. And my father is a very interesting character in my story. And that there was a lot of hard moments in that. And so that has really kind of shaped the way that I viewed, I think, men, and viewed myself, and trusted myself, and trusting other people. And I think I ended up staying in things too long that I shouldn't have, and accepting things that I shouldn't have. And it just impacted me, I think, seeing somebody not acting right a lot growing up. And so it took me, getting out of it and being alone and going to therapy and figuring it out to finally get to a place where now, I mean, I feel my husband now, he's a very sound, safe, and not in a boring way, but in a way that I just feel I can just trust him. And I swear, I think he's the first man, period, that I've ever feel I can put my trust in. And it's healing my relationship.
And I love that you said not in a boring way.
Yeah.
Women are weird. Especially if, because I can't relate to you at all about anything you just said about difficult relationships and writing songs about it. But no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But I think if you grow up, especially if your parents divorced when you're little, and then your dad struggled being a divorced dad, it can really, really, I mean, it shapes you.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes, I have no idea how your dad was as a divorced dad, but mine didn't handle it well. I think it was too painful for him. So it was easier for him just to stay away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that made me and millions of other women feel like, oh, well, this is normal. This is love.
Yeah.
This is what I deserve. I really don't deserve a man who...
For sure. And you think about this as like the most direct relationship, they're your like blood thing.
Yes.
And they don't really want to be there.
Right.
That mess, I mean, that's like the abandonment issue, like everything that comes in with that. And I think it's really when you start going through therapy, start unpacking, like you can tie so much back to it. Like, I think you were just scared of a band. Like, I think you just don't feel, and you can kind of almost point it back. But it's this very complex thing to be like, you're supposed to like, but you don't. Like, I don't know. It really shaped me, I think. And feel evolved, and I don't, I'm happy with the way everything has happened, because I feel like I'm an empathetic and deep person now, and feel like I've earned my stripes, and I've got tough skin, and I've gone through hard, I don't know if you can swear on this, but shit.
You can say whatever you want.
But yeah. And then, like I said, and then you meet somebody and it's like been my own work, and then work, with somebody else, to feel like, okay, like I can actually like take a breath. And I truly think like for the first time, like I'm like, okay, I think this might be like a safe place for me to stay.
Yeah.
And
like
that's so cool.
The bottom's not going to drop.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like, you know, but I think you got to do the work on yourself before you attract that.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
A man can spot like a troubled woman from miles away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he can also spot a healthy woman. And even in a long marriage, you can go through really tough times, but do the work.
Yeah.
And then you each spot the correct
oh my gosh
person. Yes. All of a sudden.
For sure. And I always say marriage is, I mean, we've been married not even 2 years, but it's such a mirror. Like, it's so refining. Like, it's like you're so intimately close with somebody. You're seeing, I don't know, it's just such an honest and intimate relationship where
it's like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. Love in the mirror.
Yeah. It's like you're my mirror.
It's true though. And just to be like, hey, I don't think you can't talk to me like that. And like, I feel like you're I don't know. It's been so healthy for me to have somebody. And also, I mean, when we met too, I mean, it's a roller coaster healing and going through things, and to have somebody that's like, we're going to get through it. Like, I've got your back. I love you enough to let's do this together. Let's put in the work. 'Cause it's not like, it's not an easy journny. None of it is, really.
Let's face it, you're a great catch. And so he would be crazy to not be in it with you for the long haul and have your back. And, how does he handle you? Because women musicians and artists have to work primarily with men. We travel with men.
Yeah.
We're writing with men mostly. We're in the studio with men. Most musicians are men. Is he good with that?
Yeah. And what's funny is that he's like,
because I would not be good with that if the tables were turned.
Yeah.
Except I tell my husband all the time, like, you're crazy. Just like, oh my God, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they're like brothers to me, but I would not be able to handle that.
Yeah, totally. But you're so right. I mean, that dynamic, and I think inviting him into it, will say at the very beginning, I think as someone not really involved in the industry, he had this idea of what, being on the road was this like nonstop party of just like crazy drinking and whatever. And I'm like, this is my job. Like, I'm here to work. Like, I have to put on a show. Like, and I think I mean, vocally too. I'm like, what I'm doing is challenging. Like, I can't be like up late and drinking and doing all that stuff. So I think he was able to kind of see like, okay, this is something she takes really serious. And then meeting the men in the circle. But for sure, I think it takes a secure person.
It does.
And even the ones that like you'd think would be secure because they like maybe understand it better, or they're like, I don't know. And it was difficult to find somebody that was okay with that because, but at the end of the day, it boils down to like, do you trust your person in those situations that they can hold their own and like they're going to take care of it.
And you just have to trust God too and not let your fears run away with you.
Yeah, totally.
Like, what's going on the bus tonight?
Exactly.
But I agree with you. It is a job. And I feel like there's such a culture now of it not being perceived as a job.
Yeah.
Like, everybody takes drinks on stage and
it's a bizarre thing.
It's weird.
Like what other job, you go to the green room and there is alcohol there every show.
And they might be like buzzed before the show.
I know, it's a bizarre
There's no
thing.
way I could
what
do
other
that.
job would there be like, you show up to the office and they're like, have a drink. Like, it's just insane kind of,
There's no way I could do that. Because I want perfection every show. I want my voice to be perfect. The band has to be perfect.
Yeah.
There's no way I could step out there buzzed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd probably have like a panic attack.
No, me too. I would be very, very, very uncomfortable with that. I don't know. But I guess that some people are just better at it than others. They just, that's,
I think they
nerves.
say that it helps them
with the nerves. Yeah.
With the nerves. But it's like, just do your job. And also, people are paying a lot of money to come see you. And
for sure.
They want you to sound good.
Totally.
And they want you to do a great show.
I know. It's really, people work really hard and they say, whatever, buy the tickets and they get a babysitter and they drive in and they show up to the show. Like, you should, it's serious,
It's very serious.
They're spending their hard earned money on this evening, so show up and
do a great job, and then you can do whatever you want afterwards.
Yeah. No, I totally feel you for sure.
So what is something that no one knows about you that would be so surprising? Because to me, you seem a lot like me. I'm a very normal artist. Like, a lot of artists or people think that artists have to be weird. But I'm not. I'm really responsible.
Yeah.
I try to be on time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I am a mom also, so that kind of turns you into
right.
And I am a creative, but I'm also normal. Yeah,
I don't feel the drama of being like, well, my name should be ahead of theirs on the, tour artwork or whatever.
Right.
I don't have that kind of like diva thing,
right.
I guess maybe. But I also don't know. I feel like I take it really seriously. I've also been, I'm sure that I've done a bunch of stupid and silly things because I've been doing it so long, but like, it's really important to me.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't want to, ruin anything or do anything. And it's like, or like music industry events, there's, to get so intoxicated that I'm like, you might be ruining something. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, I'm not taking that chance. Like, I want to show up and make sure I do the best that I can do. And cause it's so hard. I put in so much work. I put in so many hours, and I'm like, I need to make sure that I put my best foot forward.
Why would you take
no
a chance
matter
of
what.
blowing it?
Exactly. So I think, I definitely feel like we're pretty similar.
Are you a people pleaser?
Yes, for sure.
I
Absolutely.
can't stand the thought of being mad at people. Someone being mad at me. Like but I'm also very competitive, and I'm a hard worker. So I want everybody to work as hard as me.
Yeah.
And I expect perfection, in people. So that's probably a negative, but
no, you have to be, you're a businesswoman, and I feel, and the bar, like I have so many, questions and one of you of being a woman in this industry, and like, what do you have to say? And like, what, I'm sure you have so much advice, but I do feel like there's like, maybe you feel like you have a higher standard also. You're like, we have to show up and we have to do all of these things. And,
I feel like you already have it. Like you already get it, by taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Cause it's not a game. I mean, there have been like, obviously there have been rock bands and pop stars and even country stars like during the, Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash and, those days of, like No Show George.
Yeah.
No Show George Jones, like just getting drunk and not showing up at shows and stuff like that. But ultimately, I feel like it's so competitive. And the industry is so difficult. Like it is one of the hardest industries you can ever
we're all
desire to go into. And it hasn't always been this way.
Straight delusional, like to think
delusional.
like that's how I feel. I feel like I'm actually like just delusional. That's like the best way to, I'm like, what am I even thinking? Like, cause and it's like, everybody's so good. Like there's so much just incredible talent out there. And I'm like, what the heck? The imposter syndrome, it's just all over.
Everybody's so good, but then they don't always choose the good ones.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just a lot of like, the system to me is just and it makes me sad because, like I have children who want to do this and it's so crazy. Like I saw a post the other day about one of the streaming services and like the song got, whatever, we'll just use 1 million for the number, million streams and I made like $10. Like, it's so crazy. It's the only industry where like you just go in it and you don't make any money. It's hard to make it's so hard to make money.
Absolutely. Yeah. And around every corner, touring is so expensive and everything. Yeah. I know it's really tough. I think it's the delusion part steps in where you're like, but if you get to this level, then it's going to be great. But more than anything, it's like you do in those like mountaintop moments, you're like, this is my job. Like what? It's like it makes it all feel worth it because it's like if you can just get to this moment, but it's like how do you? It's just incredibly statistically like to get to the moment is like really hard.
It's really hard, and then also like I may not put this in the podcast because my kids will be like, "Mom," but you work so hard, and we have this genre, and we have this community, and we've got what we've got, and then. Someone who's already a super duper 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 star and fabulously wealthy and not a country artist wins country album at the Grammys. It's just we're constantly getting and it's just, but I don't know, I still believe though that maybe it can change or that something can happen or maybe there could be some sort of union type representative for artists because, it's like if you want to take a bus out on tour, you can't do that.
Yeah. There's the realities of all that.
The realities of it. It's unbelievable.
It's a gritty time. It really is. It really, really is. It's not for the faint of heart. And I think that's why it really, sifts through the people that come to town and they're like, I'm going to do this. And then they're like, actually, this, is really hard. I don't think I want it. And they go home. Like, I mean, it takes the people that are like, no, this is worth it. This is worth it. Just keep pushing.
Or just the ones that get a lucky break.
Yes, for sure. Oh, I think that there's the luck. It's the timing. It's the industry. It's the genre. So it's what's happening.
It's your work ethic.
It's the work ethic. There's so many like little things that all need to snap into place for people to connect to. And that's what it is at the end of the day. It's like, what are millions of people going to connect to all at the same time?
Right.
And at the end of the day, and this is what always encourages me because you can get so wound up about everything else. And I'm constantly on a spiral about it for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I know that at the pit of it, the things that just explode and it's everywhere is a song. It's a song. Right. I write songs every day and I'm good at it. And it's the one thing I can do. I know I can write a great song.
Awesome.
And so I just need to pour it into there. I just need to pour it into there. And I'm not, a content creator. I'm not all of these things, but I can write a song. I can play my song, can show up and do my job and try to be those other and do my best and everything, but nothing happens if the song doesn't exist.
You're so right.
So that's where you have to, it can punch and fight through everything is a great song and a hit song.
You're so right. And that's how I've always done my career in terms of making records is I'm just like, you can do anything with a great song, with a great lyric.
Yeah. And a great message.
And a great message. Yeah. But you know, the demo can be whatever. But if you've got a great lyric and it's something smart, you know, or original, it's like you can only have one suds in the bucket. And that's just a funny song.
Yeah. But it was so like nothing sounded like it was its own thing.
Right.
You know, there was something so special about it.
Yeah. And for some reason that resonated with, you know, so many people because I do think it's funny.
Yeah.
And so many people get that, like, you know, running off with.
Yeah.
And that's a parent's worst nightmare.
Totally.
Their daughter doing that. But yeah, you're so right. It is the song. And I'm so glad to hear you say, and I'm great at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because you have to know. It's not bragging and it's not being a diva, you know, to expect follow through, you know, with your people, them working as hard as you do. That's not being a diva. That's just saying, you know, this is my life.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was born with this talent. I want to see what can happen.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, also, if it's God's will, it's going to happen.
I was literally that's so weird. I was literally just about to say that. I mean, at a certain point, I mean, like you just can't control everything. And it's like just finding acceptance and like, I'm going to, you know, do everything in my power to make this happen and write the best songs and work to stay inspired and read poetry books, whatever it takes, you know, and show up and do my job. But like at the end of the day, like thy will be done. Like it's up to, I know that he has a plan for it and I'm stepping right alongside him and I can feel that.
Obviously,
I know.
you're a Christian.
Yes. Yeah.
Same.
For sure.
I'm a very strong believer and it is. I mean, like my husband always says, God is always providing and protecting.
Yeah.
So if it's a no, that's a protection.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
it's so good.
There's always going to be provision. But I think if you can go to bed every night going, well, today wasn't my best day, but I did something, or saying I gave it my all today.
Yeah.
You know, I worked for 4 or 5 hours writing a song, which a lot of people don't realize is exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, songwriting is exhausting.
Totally.
Every time I get home from a write,
your brain
I'm
is
just like,
I know. I'm like, I need to put something on TV that is nothing.
Yeah, just Love is Blind.
Yeah, no, literally. Love is Blind. I need 8 episodes of Love is Blind. I feel the same way. Oh, I love that so much, though. And it's so crazy, like the doors that have totally closed in my face to step back and look after, okay, that, you know, wasn't meant for me.
That wasn't meant for me.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, how to rationalize it any other way other than, it's God provides and he protects. And
he does. And you have to just say, it is well with my soul. But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. But also God understands that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and when you have a baby, you'll understand even more God's love for us because you would literally, without even thinking, you die for your child.
Yeah.
Without even thinking.
Which is hard to like, before you have a child, like think about that.
Yeah.
I know.
If any of my 3 kids were here, someone walks in and I mean, I'm standing in front of them.
Yeah.
There's just no question. So I think that helps to
I think
understand God's love.
Yeah. And as a person in general to experience that. But like, I think as an artist where it does feel like me, like I feel like sometimes it's just me, pictures of me, videos of me, my songs, mine, me. And then to have this thing that is so much more important than you.
Right.
That you would, like you said, step in front of like whatever for.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I feel like that's so like healthy. I don't know.
Well,
and a shift that would be important.
You shouldn't feel guilty about the me thing because at the end of the day, you're a product. I'm a product.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, totally.
It just
it's
has
the reality
to be
of it.
Like when I said, like I said, I loved that you said, I'm a great songwriter. I'm a great singer. And I know that. And so it's just like, saying like, you know, if you made cars and you're like, I made a great car, this is a great car.
Yeah.
You would say that about your product.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
It's not arrogance or, anything like that. I mean, I think God wants us to speak those words into existence.
Yeah.
I'm great at what I do.
Totally.
You know,
there has to be, something. And I think confidence in general comes from like, it's a gift. It's a gift. Like, I mean, when you write a great song, it plops out of the sky and into my brain. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, I leave there and being like, whoa, that was so, I knew exactly what melody I needed to sing. I knew exactly what words. And it just feels like you're in this like flow thing. That's not me.
Right.
That's not from me.
Like
that gift isn't from me. Singing or like it's coming out and this happens. It's so magical. Like,
it's nothing that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're born with a gift to sing, then you are.
You're right. Like a 4-year-old staying in the same key, that whole song, that is something that
he's got it.
Like
he's got it.
Exactly. And that's just a gift from God. And so we're just there to like celebrate that and honor that. And
we have to remember too that Satan's job is to steal, kill, and destroy and rob our joy. So I think just there's a phase right now of that happening to a lot of artists that God put the desire, because God places the desires in our hearts to do whatever it is that we do, that we want to do. And so it's the enemy's job to try to steal that. And I think, just lots and lots of prayer and belief and also just stay delusional.
I love it. The title of this episode, Stay Delusional. I love it. It's true, though. You just out here being like, maybe me. I don't know.
It could be me. It could be.
Yeah, or not. It's other people. Yeah.
Right. And what if? What if it is?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it obviously is with you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being, this hour has
oh my gosh, this has flown by.
I always tell people that the hour flies by. And I really, really appreciate it. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And
I appreciate it.
Just keep going and pitch me some of your songs.
Of course, I would love to.
Yeah. It's been great talking to you.
It
Thank
really
you so
has been.
much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.